Hey everyone, Rather Coherent here. Welcome back to Crusader Kings 2, Holy Fury. And I've done a lot of math. My total levies that I can call is just under 20,000. Which is pretty fucking scary, actually. And 8,000 of that is represented by my own military, between retinues and levies. Now, so far, I've only really looked at this chief, who has a couple of vassals of his own, and he has 1.6 thousand, and this guy has 4.4 thousand, so I've been scared of them. But the rest of their vassals are actually terrible. So counting only the Grand Chief and his direct vassals, they can only pull 6,110 troops. It's almost entirely those two guys. There might be sub-vassals that get called in that inflate the numbers, but it shouldn't more than double them. And even if they do double in size, I still have a 50% troop edge on them. So we are dominantly ahead, and we can definitely win this war. The only debate is, do I dial them now? Because I have started the tribal festival. And I don't remember how long a tribal festival takes. I'm going to see if I can find the events description of that. Well, tribal festivals came with Holy Fury. I haven't played in a while, so I didn't know which expansion they were from. And that means there's basically no information online about how they work. I do know that if I declare war while the tribal festival is being prepared, it will be cancelled like carousing would be. I'm enjoying the countryside for a year. So that implies I'd have to wait a year. Are we going to gain levies in that year? Alright, that was a waste of gold. We're going. Subjugate him. It's time. Yep, we'll celebrate our victory later. We can have a tribal festival some other time. Raise everything, and let's start calling everyone. I like how it always says maybe, even though it's like plus 10, we love you, and you're our liege. What about Sigurd? I want Sigurd's opinion. Specifically his. Sigurd, how do you feel about this? You like my enemies too much. Do you remember the part where your inability to conquer Saxony is the reason that you lost Svithjad? You could just say you like them more than me. You don't need to pretend you like them at all. I know you hate me. Alright, so that's everyone called. And I think a big part of why their military is so weak is that we have just destroyed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In the past year, we have sieged 11 of their counties down to no levy, basically. And we've also killed about 1,000 troops that were probably from 4 of the counties we didn't siege. So you guys group up down here. You guys group up here. And we're just not sieging all of this. We'll group up eventually. And actually, let's get our boats out and send them down here as spies so that we can see when they move troops up. Apparently I knew this guy. He was a Catholic priest. I've never seen him before in my life. Like, I know it told me because I had that guy who did it bookmarked, but I'm still a little bit confused. You know, I distinctly recall calling my arms of my vassals who counted approximately 10,000 strong. This doesn't feel like 10,000 strong. Okay, so I've got my 8,000 men raised, sieging away. He hasn't reacted at all yet because he's busy with this war. So what are we looking like in terms of the vassals that are actually coming? 500, 1,500, 2,000, 2.5, 3.7, 4, 4.8. It's looking like roughly 5,500, something like that. Which is still plenty. I expected them to actually send whole numbers, but they totally did not. Oh, there's a button right here! It just shows up once you go to war. That's so helpful. I never have to go through the hell of clicking them all one at a time again. Allies in war. Yes, this tab. I can order him to attack enemy armies or to siege holdings, but I can't be like, hey, connect to my units and stay together. We're actually just going to split this in half, the army of Ake and the army of the other guy, who was Ingolfer? Yes. One to here and the other to here. We can just carpet siege this down. They don't have nearly enough troops to stop us. Is this my slow son? It totally is. He can become charitable, which would make him even better at diplomacy and even more negative at personal combat, so that sounds good. I want him to be charitable. He's steadily becoming the most charming idiot in the world. I sincerely hope the slow charming guy ends up my leader at some point. Just really fucks with my whole Viking mythos. There's a 6,000 stat coming up, so we're gonna start walking this way. He's realized where the real threat is. Move to here, move to here. Actually, assault the rest of the way down on both of these. These will be on Skane, then here. Isn't it fast enough? Isn't he already 0 diplomacy? Oh no, he's got a diplomacy back. Well, he can get rid of it again. Keep getting martial, kid. Alright, so I can just merge this. And if he attacks, this guy will likely show up during the fight, assuming they even lose to begin with, which I don't think they would. Let's see if any of those kids that I just clicked off were worth money. Yes, they were. Siege down 4 holdings for 3% war score. They were pretty unimportant, I'm not going to pretend. Come on, where are you going? Let's see it. It looks like he's trying to go unsiege stuff. Which is fine, I'll just keep sieging things down while I wait for all of my armies to get together. I like this guy who's just like, I'm going to go do my own thing. Just like, dude, group up with the army. You're trying to get yourself killed. By my math, though, this is pretty much everything he has. Nothing else is coming. He's even going to the one right next to us, so we can do this super quickly. He's locked, which means we can jump him. My guys will get there. I'm pretty sure this is the end of the war. It could end comically badly for me in ways that I'm not expecting. Do we have anyone leading the middle? No. Ake is just generally the best. I won't, just whoever the best two are. If Sigurdur isn't actually the best, then he doesn't get to be here. Do we have any heavy infantry? An incredibly small amount. He's probably better than Otter then, right? Unless Giant has some weird effects. He's probably better. Otter, you're in control of this entire army for the time being. I could lead this myself, but this feels like a good way to die for no fucking reason. I'll leave it in the hands of my vassals. Alright, let's go. Wait. Shit, I'm already locked. He was going to fight me. There's no defensive bonuses for him, so it doesn't matter, but I would get reinforcements slightly sooner. Alright, so first off, this flank doesn't even have a leader, and second off, both of my leaders are tremendously better than his, and third off, he's leading personally the madman. I'm pretty sure this is a walkover. Like, we would win without the reinforcements. Yeah, he is bombed. This is one-sided. I think one of my counselors just died. Alright, but that guy was definitely not a commander, so we're fine. So it's time to get my genius son-in-law thrown into Byzantine jails for the rest of his fucking life, I guess. Because I'm sure that's how this is going to play out, but I need the best spy master I can get. My children have education focuses they need. I guess you're going to go learning. It's all you're good at. I don't want you to be good at intrigue. Hey, it's the backup son. I think I'm just going to push him down martial, same as I've done with every son. Except for the slow one, who is, what's his current martial score again? Oh, it's actually This isn't even going to be the worst kid I've ever had. He's going to be fine. This guy is demolishing any reasonable expectation I could have had for him. And the really sad part is I showed him that unlike all of the strong and genius people, he's going to pass on slow to every one of his kids. Alright, so we just need to chase this army down over and over again until we capture the king, and then that's the end of the war. Most of them are retreating to Vista, some of them are retreating to Speed. Let's like actually get counts, I guess. Vista has approximately 2.2k, 2.6k going to Speed. So we're going to Speed. Alright, chase him. It's critically important. And this should just be the war. Like, we eventually kill all these troops, siege all of this down. Before I chase him, I'm actually gonna, like, assault every single holding that I chase him to. They're instantly trying to come back? The ball's on that guy. I wonder why. He must have lost it in a battlefield event. Assault this. That guy's locked into movement, has more morale and more men at this point. Oh, it's already 100%. I captured him. Can you ransom yourself? No, 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 no. Can he ransom himself? How much money does he have? I want that money. I'm also going to continue destroying the armies of his vassals because I don't want them to be powerful. I mean, Alfred the Tormentor isn't exactly the name of a good tax carrier, so... Alright, so it looks like he's not paying for himself. This is other people buying other stuff. There's like a really easy way to check this that I should have just done immediately. He has 105 gold, and his ransom is definitely more than that. All for peace. Yeah, there's no reason to keep fighting this. All for peace, enforce demands. King Thorder Irongrip has usurped the title Kingdom of Denmark from Jarl Theodoric II of Saxony. I've also usurped the title King of Saxony. I didn't realize what I was reading the first time. Did he have two kingdoms? He had two kingdoms? Oh, this fucker. That's super awkward for me now. Because originally, I was planning on actually just leaving this blank, not actually becoming King of Norway. Because it would give me two kingdoms, and then Gallokind would screw me. Now, with Gallokind, you actually cannot destroy a title. Succession type is not Gallokind. Everyone stop. Are you sure? I'm very confused. Sure. I think maybe I need to let time tick. I can't think of anything else. I'm going to unpulse, repulse. Okay, so my ambition to make Norway is gone because I'm already a king. So I want to make an empire, which means I need a lot of prestige. Which one of these ends faster? I'm going to get prestige through raiding, which means War Chest will finish first. I'm going to reform the religion, just give me a minute. I'm 83% threatening, as I want to do. I have an advisor slot now. That's not important. What is important, can I destroy kingdoms? I shouldn't be able to. I'm Gavelkind. It says I'm Gavelkind. Everyone is voting for this guy. We're gonna have a problem here, Saxony. I don't think you understand what the rules are. So, real quick now. Let's go to the Kingdom of Saxony and find the old guy. History. Yes. How many people want you dead? Because I feel like you're gonna start causing some fucking problems for me very suddenly. I feel like you want to elect your children onto the throne. The Spy Master will kill you for money. And everyone else hates you. And this will break up the super counts. Yes, send them $15 and invite everyone. So that's going to solve one of the major players pitted against me right now. I don't know who I want as my advisor, and I'm still very, very confused because laws, inheritance, gavel kinds. And I literally can't change out of gavel kinds. So, why then is it telling me that I can break up Denmark? I honestly think it's lying to me, and like as soon as I hit 400 prestige, it's going to turn green on lose prestige and red on succession type is not gavel kind. Because succession type is most certainly gavel kind, right? Am I just absolutely stupid? Agnatic elective gavel kind is what we're currently using. I was thinking maybe it's not any of these, and it's like an option I can't change to, so it's not showing, but no. Right here it says, Agnatic elective gavel kind. This is gavel kind. Why? What's happening? Alright, let's look at laws. Can we pass new laws? I want the maximum amount of tribal authority. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like you're being forced to say no by Alfred the Tormentor? Didn't I originally... No, originally I got you to like me and you were a powerful vassal. I didn't actually get you to become anyone who was useful to me. And you would have been you are a loyalist, aren't you? Okay, he's a loyalist because the green heart's on the inside. Yeah, I'm stupid. So I need to get rid of Alfir and get somebody else on board. That doesn't sound that hard to do. Because Alfir's not even good, right? Yeah. Oh, what's that? The guy who's best at the job is a landed and is a loyalist? Huh. Weird. Of course, I do need a fourth person on the council. I'm sure there's somebody somewhere that would be a loyalist. I'm gonna pick Sigrid because I might need to fire them. Well, I actually want Sigrid to like me. Speaking of Shield Maiden daughter, yes, recruit to Warrior Lodge. Speaking of, you know what? He'll be better off not in the Warrior Lodge, I think. I think he'll eventually get maimed and killed if I tell him to join the Warrior Lodge. Can you invite 12-year-old girls into the Warrior Lodge? I absolutely can. Okay, so I can make Sigrid my advisor, but I want her to actually like me. Which is silly, because she has low intrigue and isn't landed, so. Now I can pass maximum tribal authority. And we can start to actually get things done. So, I sat the game down for about a day to think about the nightmare that I inherited with this dual kingdom Gavelkind nonsense. And as I came back to look at exactly how to play it out best, I've come to my conclusions already, and part of my conclusions is that Crusader Kings 2 might be a bit buggy at times. So, it didn't really occur to me beyond initial outrage that this kid shouldn't even be a candidate because Gavelkind is explicitly my own family. And maybe the tooltip is just wrong there and there's some rules that I don't know about Gavelkind. I'm not quite sure why I can only see the electors on my initial realm, my primary title rather, but not my secondary title. But that's not a huge complaint compared to somehow Sfithjod is in primogeniture, which isn't what it used to be in, and it's literally not something I could change to if I wanted to. I would change it back to Gavelkind, but we have two problems. The first is I have to reign for 10 years as a king before I can change it, and it turns out there are three problems. The second is that one of my vassals hates me, and the third, this is the funniest one, is that you can't convert to Gavelkind if you're a tribal, unreformed pagan. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It's literally the only thing those people are supposed to be able to use to begin with. But I guess it's not an important qualifier, since they also should never be able to leave unless somehow they do this. And honestly, I feel like both this being broken and primogeniture and this having this guy as a candidate to begin with might just be a thing where once time ticks, they'll get fixed. Something that time ticking will not fix is that this is hilarious to me. So something else that's really weird is that the cynical, shy, arbitrary, ambitious, and lustful lunatic that is previously the Duke of Northumbria and now a tributary state to the Isle of Man has been excommunicated. So that's good. Honestly, that might be kind of bad for me. That'd be a really easy way for Mercia to unite England. Since they just have free cast as Bella, I assume that's what this is, right? Yep. Yeah, they have free cast as Bella for all of his land now. That's kind of bad for me. Let's deal with the icons first. I'm threatening. I'm always going to be threatening. Fucking deal with it. That's useless. There are going to be hundreds upon hundreds of low priority messages. I had to go into settings and change defensive pack messages to low priority, because it would make my important messages unreadable if I didn't do that. Now, religion can be reformed. Can, but won't. So, the reason for that is the same reason I'm keeping my capital in an objectively worse territory. If we go over to my military and look at my retinues, you can see that I have 50% bonus from religion and 150 from technology. If I switch capitals, that would go down to 100 from technology, or maybe 50, I don't remember what the base level is, and 0 from religion. While I'm here, let's go ahead and hire more retinues, because we can, because we're a king now. So, I have 2 domain size left over right now. And as a king, I currently have my levies raised. But if I get rid of my levies and go over to these guys, I can just declare conquest wars, no problem. And conquest wars are objectively good. I gain 100 prestige, 50 piety, 1% moral authority when I win them. They have no cost, they're just great for me. And I actually take all of the holdings and anything I get through conquest. So I can take these 2 coastal counties in conquest wars right now, build hill forts in them, and then in like 3 years from now, because I have to conquer them and wait for them to finish building, I'll be able to make probably like another 2,000 retinues, I think. A lot more, though. And once I have those retinues, then I will move my capital, change my crown focus, and reform the religion. Because then I'll be at like 8k out of 4k retinue. And they'll continue to function as normal. So, on the subject of retinues, though, I've been picking the objectively worst retinue, the light infantry. That's because they are giving me the most troops per retinue cap usage available, by a substantial margin. Second best is almost 50% worse than them. And I intend to use my retinues primarily to raid and pillage, where numbers is about the only thing that matters. You need 500 to pillage top gold as fast as possible. You need high numbers to siege. Troop quality doesn't matter at all. And I think that troop quality matters very little in an assault, though I'm not sure of that. I just want a shitload of generic retinue troops, as many as I can possibly get for raiding in the future, which is why I've been picking these light infantry dudes. On the subject of raiding, I need to bring this boat home so I can re-raise my fleet levies to get 9 boats. And we need to split off 900 retinue from this army, so that we can start pillaging single counties in England and Ireland. So, we're at war with these guys, but we're not yet. I need to declare the war. So let's get on that. Let's declare some wars. The coastal one. Yes. And I want this guy's coastal settlement too. And I'm just doing this for retinue cap. I'll be keeping the settlements because there's no reason not to, but I have no real interest in owning this land. It's just a thing to do to gain prestige and retinue cap. Raise our levies, send everyone over. It's not very complicated decision making here. We comically outnumber them. Alright, so that's all of our army organization that we need to do. Oh, something else I should probably do while I'm bitching about inheritance not making sense. I should probably actually set my son as my elective in both of them. And I should also check that my titles make sense. I can't change my actual positions because they're all voting on absolute authority right now. But I'm pretty sure my renowned position, yeah, he's just worse than the guys who I got trying to find, he's just worse than the guys that we got through inviting nobles to court trying to find good genetics. Now, I appreciate that this is my strongest vassal by a mile. However, he's a bad commander and I'm not going to have him be a commander. Speaking of, my son is probably the best commander we have. Okay, I think that covers everything. We're going to use our 900 men to start pillaging any single counties with a lot of top gold around here. We're going to use the main of our army to conquer 2 areas over here, build hill forts, and get higher retinue cap. And then once we filled out our much higher retinue cap, what we're going to do is we're going to move our capital over here. Eventually we're going to use, our tech won't transfer, but that's actually a good thing because it allows us to make a second shipbuilder in this area much faster than we otherwise would have been able to. When we do all of that, we can reform the religion. And outside of that, once we've done with all of this stuff, there's a lot of unfilled time for our army. We're just going to start conquering all of this land because we have nothing better to do with our time. We need prestige, and that's the only thing our retinues can do if we don't have votes. So, yeah, let's get on with it. So, Sigrid doesn't want to be a wolf warrior. She's convinced that they're boring because the fake Viking Ragnar is a boring man. And that's intensely fucking annoying. She is clearly not ready for the commitment. Right, we're ransoming people. That was forever ago. It's just something I do all the time. I'd completely forgotten. Continue ransoming people. Alright, so we're going to try to kill the ex-king of Saxony. We just have an ambush set up. Alright, we're pretty much... that's unfortunate. That's not what we wanted to hear. To be fair, his family is relatively small. He's got one child, one sibling. Honestly, the dishonorable penalty is worse than that, right? My vassals think I'm dishonorable now, I believe. Yeah. That only lasts 5 years? Well, shit, I don't really care if it's only 5 years. You can keep killing people. But dishonorable is 100% what you get from failed assassinations. I know that now. So we're just sending everyone up here. We're going to rotate down and kill everything. It's not going to be a hard series of wars at all. Their net strength is 1/5 of mine. I haven't even bothered to call in my allies. Oh, right, yeah, I need to start pillaging. I'm a little bit confused by this on account of having created a council specifically to pass this law, looking at them, seeing 4 loyalists saying yes and 2 other people saying no, and no favors being owed. I'm just gonna write that off as a bunch of fucky shit happened, because everything was broken with succession, too. Let's quickly look. Has any of that just magically fixed itself with time? No one else is being voted for here. If I tried to vote for someone else, yeah, he's not a candidate anymore, because he shouldn't have been to begin with. So my other son's winning this, but that might not be because of votes. It might be because it's going to 2nd place. Because, you can't give them both to the same character, I'm reasonably sure. And this is Gavelkind now, and it's going to the 3rd person, so yeah, I think everything makes sense on this now. And the same stuff that was making all of this broken for whatever reason probably caused that vote to mess up. I'm not really sure what just happened. It seemed very, very glitched out and wrong. Usually when I don't understand something in CK2, I think I just don't know a mechanic. But in this case, I think it's just broken, because that doesn't... Like, that's literally not how the game's supposed to work on Succession, and literally not what the game told me on the law. So, I didn't realize this until much later. Iron Grip is not referring to, like, some badass martial ability. They're referring to how good at arm wrestling I am. Hopefully that part of the legend is lost to time when they just hear Iron Grip without context in the future. So, yes, Earth Hill Fort immediately. Hop on the boats. Everyone's going to the right county. Yep. They weren't set to pillage. Hop off the boats. I'm not at peace. Well, this is just mismanaged and awful, but it's fine. It's only a few more months. Yeah, I don't have time for this. So, my son, Thorstein Thordarson, can be made brave or uncouth. And he only has a chance of becoming brave. Let's make him brave. Awesome. I say awesome. I say that without the intention of playing as him, because it's probably going to kill him. Do you like me? No. You barely liked me to begin with. To be fair, a lot of that is won't seat on council, and you're my super vassal, right? It's definitely worth giving this guy a seat on the council. Like, I can't pass laws right now. So yeah. Speaking of, I need to reassign this guy to organize the army, because all I care about is retinue right now. Just blitz through him, it's not even close. And I think there's a temple here. Yeah, I just need to give this to somebody else, create new vassal. sell off anyone worth money. Disband the non-retinue troops. So now I can set this to pillage, and I can hop on to this boat. Start pillaging. A little bit late. And also need to make the Earth Hill Fort here. There's already one. That's great. I'll make the Market Village instead. It'll be worth making. It'll only be a few months more wait for probably another retinue. Probably not another retinue. It's like a 50-50, right? Because 20 times 200%. So it's going to be 60 out of 105. So it just depends on where the numbers fall. Alright. So right now, I can get lackadaisical and complacent really fucking easily. And I'm encouraged to do that, because if I go to defensive pacts against me... Actually, Catholicism, except for Austrasia, is sort of united against me. But, the pagans haven't yet. The pagans have made bad decisions. They should definitely unite against me. But what I was going to say is it actually doesn't matter if they unite against me. Because look at this guy. He has a single county. Let's say I declare war on him, and the entire world comes to his aid. Literally 100% of other factions. I walk in. I win the fight against whatever levy he raises. I press assault. 100% war score. Nothing matters in terms of defensive pacts against nations this small. So I was planning to just bulldoze through them anyway, but apparently I won't even need to do that. And I can just keep declaring conquest wars. Oh! We might be putting off religious reform for longer than I thought, because retinue size is entirely unaffected by going over the domain cap, and I can just keep conquering cities, well, tribes, and giving them Earth Hill Forts. Nothing stopping me. So I think that the best thing I can do is to conquer this and just extend my time spent by a little bit. I know you can't declare war if they're outside of your land. I'm actually going to quick save and see what the rules on what counts as outside your land is. Okay, so you can see that I'm basically on his land. This is very fair. I can't believe you... I guess it makes sense, right? Because you would never be able to figure it out as a player if a character was moving out of your lands to cause it. Yeah, conquest. And we'll be there, like, tomorrow, right? In less than a week, our army will be there. Yeah, this was very fair. You don't look like anyone's gonna pay for you. Salt it down. Nope, keep assaulting it down. I don't have time for this. Okay, so I don't need this temple. Build another Earth Hill Fort. Okay, so these retinues don't really have a use right now, because I'm not bordering anyone for a single county that I can conquer with it. I can declare conquest against this guy and eventually take him. Defensive pact-wise, is he in league with anyone? No, he's not. He hasn't heard. I mean, I may as well. Like, not doing it is objectively worse than doing it, so... Yeah, okay. I may as well dow this guy with conquest too. The one closer to me, obviously. I never sent this anywhere. I'm the worst. I'm the absolute worst. Oh yeah, just 114 messages about people joining and leaving defensive packs. That's gonna get real old real fast. We're just gonna... This is just dead to me. I'm never opening them. Alright, so she's Midas touched, which is great, but I still can't use her for a bit. So around March of 794. And we're just going to be trying to skim top gold. We're not going to be trying to siege anything, which means we're going to Sussex. Now, in terms of military struggles, I don't even need to watch this. I can just wait for the siege notification. Good. We need to be paying attention to Vikings first. Yeah, doubt besets you, I know. You want a non-aggression pact. I respectfully disagree. I trust her word because this is a bug, so I'm just going to trust it every time the message pops up. George has 11 diplomacy. which I believe is the highest in the family. Let me just fact check that real quick. Yeah, George has higher diplomacy than any of his siblings. I'm guessing that means they're sieging Metal Pad. Yep, that's how it goes. Will you accept? I mean, you're at 99%. Yeah. Tell it there. Ransom prisoners. Is part of my war score that prisoner? No. Wait. Oh yeah, 50% of it is... Is that your heir? Your heirs were 26 gold? Okay. He'll probably say no on account of already having her back. Alright, let's sail around to Ireland. To the deplorable King Thordor, may your years be short and miserable. I accept your offer of peace. My vassals are forming alliances, which is a little bit terrifying, but whatever. Now, I conquered this just because I could, really. But, I mean... Oh, it's already got an Earth Hill Fort and everything. Great. I'm not going to bother building anything here then. I could. But it would be a substantial delay in time compared to just letting this one finish. What it? 16th of March, 794? As compared to... Yeah, it would be substantially slower. It's like 3 months for another building. Yeah, I'll take it. It's worth doing. Possibly, maybe, probably not, whatever. We're this deep into getting extra retinue cap, we may as well go all the way. That's my real logic. So, have the defensive packs figured it out yet? Yes, there we go. Almost all of them have realized at this point, maybe we should join up. Pomerania, this guy, this one county, haven't figured it out. Most of Ireland is an offensive pact against us, but you can't really make defensive pacts against Vikings because it's not a real war. So I think I'm going to go a little bit longer, because right now my retinue is comically undermanned, right? Like, compared to what it could be. Yeah, it's at about 2/3 strength. And almost all of the missing troops are in this army. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this army stationed around here. Which one of these has higher supply limit? That probably doesn't matter. They're the same. I'm going to leave this retinue army here. And wait for the buildings to come through. When they do, I'm going to summon the new retinues and to start declaring holy wars and conquest wars against all of this. Just take everything. Because holy war will allow me to take whole duchies at once. So, I think what we're going to do for the rest of this video is we're just going to pillage, wait for buildings to come through. And once they do, we're going to buy our new retinues and call it a video. So, what are the levies here? Could you reasonably stop me? No? I can just take one if I want? Let's do that. Let's get Cornwall. They can't raise 900 in one county. Yep, more usurping going on. They're still Vikings. They might all be under me, but they're still Vikings. Yep, this is worth going to. And this is just, like, the reason Vikings are absurdly strong. Even with only 9 boats, I'm making such an insane amount of money from doing this, and also an insane amount of prestige. Someday, we're going to get a character with a genetic trait that is good. And one better, a genetic trait that came from their parents. Alright, I assume this one also... Nope, that one does not have top gold. Alright, so hop back on the boat. Now hop on to Devon, because they just unraged their troops. He's fighting me. I mean, admittedly, my terrible light infantry army can lose to an army about half its size. But the advanced European army of my nightmares is not 400 men from Wales. I don't know what he was thinking. So, yeah, that was an easy win. Take all their top gold and sail away, no problems. That was a bunch of needless deaths on his part. Good job, Cornwall. Yeah, my vassals just keep making alliances with each other, and it's sort of terrifying. So once again, there's only 2 counties here, so I can just walk to one and the other one can't stop me. I'm assuming we're not at 90 gold yet. We're at 60. I can't pillage this guy for some reason, so I'm just going to leave. This is the only part of Ireland I have access to right now that has no troops on it. Courtier dead. $65 gold. I'm probably just gonna go up north 1 tile and take some random shit. I'm guessing that's her liege. Yeah, I don't really care, honestly. Like, they're not in my jail because they're valuable. They're in my jail because there's no reason to set them free. Which is a terrible way to view your jail system. You know, for somebody who had a massive tributary state that long, I'm surprised how little valuable shit he had. It would be much, much more profitable to siege all of this down, but unfortunately I just don't have the armies to reliably do that. Hey, we've got a gun. Gorm Garrison is a kind of good name. It's a shame it's a perfectly average child. Yeah, no, sorry, Christendom isn't happening this game. I'm interested in running a game where I unite the Norse and then mass convert to Christendom. But in this game, you're getting ransom back to your liege for 145 fucking gold. You should have sent a less valuable priest. Alright, back to pillaging. To the filthy lunatic Thordor, may your humors rot in your living body. I accept paying ransom for the safe return of Colin or Warimbert. I'm not a lunatic. Come on now. There are plenty of real ways to insult me. I'm stupid, and stressed, and cruel. I'm a berserker, which you probably think is a bad thing. You don't need to make up a lunatic. Alright, that's it. It's time to do things. So that is the last building we're making, which means that we should have a massive retinue cap right now. 4.7 out of 6.5k. Yes, we can get a lot more of these. And like, admittedly, this is in direct contrast to our goal of gaining prestige. This cost us a lot. However, I feel like the reasons why I would want 16 more units, which comes out to be, what? 2,400 more soldiers? Is pretty obvious. Like, once I have boats, it'll be better for that, and while I don't have boats, I've got land to conquer. Now, since I don't need retinue cap anymore, we have a lot of stuff to do. And we're going to start it this time. First of all, we're moving our capital to Upland. And we're making it our crown focus. Now, technology. We're not quite at shipbuilding, we need 11 more. But fairly soon we'll be able to get shipbuilding in Upland, which is great because if we go to tech view for shipbuilding, I'm assuming it hasn't spread anywhere. It has not. It's beginning to, but not really. So bringing it to Upland on my own is a good start. And next, the thing that I have been waiting for the longest time, reforming the religion. Now, I'm not going to spend forever telling you about all the new mechanics for Reformation. Because if you really want to know how any of these work, the Wikipedia is really detailed, and like all I can really do for them is read them to you. I haven't thoroughly tested them. So I'm going to select what mine are and then break down why I think it's good, and more importantly, why I think it's awesome. So, first of all, we're going temporal just automatically. Because it means that the reformer is the head of the religion, which is me, and it will always pass down to my successors. There's no reason I would ever not pick, I am the Pope and my children will be the Pope after me. It's just clearly really good. Now, this is less based in reality. There are probably better things to pick than Bloodthirsty Gods. But Bloodthirsty Gods is amazing. Yeah, the flavor text is a good job of describing it. Our heavenly masters are cruel and ever thirsty. If we do not placate their hunger for flesh, blood, and souls, they will turn their wrath upon us. And this unlocks the ability to sacrifice prisoners of a different religion for piety, and it also unlocks special traits and actions relating to prisoner sacrifice. Now, I'm not convinced Bloodthirsty Gods is even good. It's definitely not bad, but it is hilarious. It makes the game more interesting, and that's exactly what I want out of this. These last two, Cosmopolitan and Equality, I picked because the main thing that I want to do this game is collect all of the Bloodlines. Cosmopolitan allows me to wage holy wars, which is really important because that's a great casus belli, but it also allows me to intermarry with other faiths. And the downsides are low moral authority, but that doesn't matter because moral authority will be through the roof as long as it's the religion of someone waging as many wars as me, and it discourages missionary work, which is kind of annoying, but it doesn't say disables, so I assume it'll still happen eventually. And Equality enforces absolute cognatic, and it removes penalties for female rulers. And this is really important because to pass down the bloodlines that I'm trying to intermarry into, they're all passed down patrilineally. The only way they're passed down matrilineally is in a matrilineal marriage. So, to actually make it really easy for me to get bloodlines in, making matrilineal marriages allowed for my rulers helps. That said, this is also just good for the obvious reason of allowing my genius daughters to rule instead of my slow sons. So, the net result of all this is that we're a fairly progressive society, but we also happen to be a theocracy that worships lunatic gods that demand blood from their subjects. We're really mostly equal in your ability to placate the thirst of Odin. And now when I do all this, all of the temples in my empire, which is basically every Norse temple there are and a couple of others, is replaced. And we get this message, which is basically a complete lie, but I'll read it anyway. The Germanic Reformation. The ancient Germanic religion is proving unable to withstand the onslaught of the cross and moon. I don't think we've actually seen a Christian or a Muslim. Rather than abandoning the old ways, Fylkir Thordor and the most powerful priest have decided to reform the Germanic faith in order to ensure the coexistence of their religion with its new neighbors. So, coexistence isn't quite the way I would describe this. Coexisting with them is not the goal. Complete and total domination of them seems more accurate. Firmly under the leadership of a holy Fylkir, the Germanic faith is ready to contend with its weak and decadent opponents, be they missionaries or crusaders. And at least that's pretty much accurate. This event could mark the beginning of a new era of pagan revivalism all throughout Europe and spell doom for the Abrahamic usurpers, for the Allfather. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, because at this point we have holy wars, conquest wars, and pillaging lined up forever. We have a bunch of unmarried kids who either need genius or bloodline matrilineal marriages. There's probably yet more management coming. This just seems like a fine point to stop on. We can get into the intricacies of our new religion next time. This has been rather incoherent. I hope you've had a good time, and I'll see you around.